Plaintiff Stephanie North says the defendant is her daughter. And for the first 10 years of her life, Stephanie was a crack addict. Stephanie claims as a result, the defendant started acting out and fighting. And now she threatens Stephanie and calls her derogatory names, so she's suing. Defendant Bianca North admits that she acted out when she was younger, but says her mom took out a lot of her anger on Bianca for no reason at all. Although Bianca admits that she and her mother still do not always see eye to eye, she insists she has never threatened her and therefore does not owe.
Start with you.
This is a very sad day for me. Bianca is my only daughter. I love her very much, but it seems like since Bianca was 10 years old, Bianca has been giving me a lot of problems.
Like what?
Disrespect.
Give me some examples.
I've been called miserable, lonely, obese, crack whores, jealous OB, nothing. I'm nothing. I'll never be nothing.
Since she was 10?
No, not since she was 10. The 10 was with the... Yes, this progressed.
And what type of things was she doing at 10?
Oh, this was the fighting at school, the disrespecting her teachers, not doing her work.
Okay. Did you ever take her to counseling?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. How did that go?
Apparently not too well.
Okay. All right. And how often did you take her and for how long?
It was like several different times through the schools because I don't have money for counseling, but through the schools, you know, as far as we would both take it, you know, I'm not saying that Bianca always gave up. Sometimes I gave up.
Okay.
Sometimes you just get tired.
Right.
I'd like to have a little bit of background about myself if I can. I was a crack addict for 20 years of my life.
How old was she during those years?
Well, she wasn't around when I started. She came...
She hadn't been born?
Right. She came in the midst of it.
And how long were you on crack during her
Till she was 10 years old.
For the first 10 years you were on crack?
Yes.
And then since how old is she now?
She's 21 now.
All right. So you haven't been on crack for 11 years?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you think those first 10 years affected her?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most definitely. They affected all my children. Yes, sir.
All right. You don't think you could attribute some of her behavior to that?
Yes, sir. I mean,
So you're not confused?
No, sir.
As to why she's doing all this?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Because
no,
you sounded like you thought there was just something that came over her.
No.
To make her do all these things.
No.
Okay, yeah. So at least we know why, for the most part. Let me allow you to give some background.
First of all, Your Honor, I love my mother very much. That is supposed to be my best friend, you know, and I feel like for the most part, my mom does not respect me. Coming up, I did not know about the drug use. Afterwards, when I found out, it kind of made more sense to me because my parents were nicer when they were on drugs. And I know that's weird to say, but the actions and stuff that she has now towards me is kind of like, because that my dad left when I was 10 and because I look the most like him, I feel like that's her outlet for her anger, was me. And it's like, I didn't deserve that. Coming up in school, I did have disciplinary actions and issues.
Starting at what age?
At 10. But that was normal because kids fight. Kids have disagreements.
How often?
And, I probably had them a lot more than I was supposed to. But that's because people used to...
You're saying it's not normal then?
No. Like, I used to get teased a lot from my parents.
Okay, but the issue was whether the frequency in which you do it is normal, and you thought it was.
Yeah.
Until I told you that what you're telling me now is not normal.
Yeah.
All right, so you got in trouble more than normal. You think it's because of the coming down on you by your mother. And it coincidentally happened when the family broke up. And I guess my analysis has been that when families break up, that frequently happens. One of the children, if not a couple of them, rebel. And same when a child is born into a household that is drug addicted for their first 10 years. That creates dysfunction in the child. So one way or the other, it was the breakup of the family or the dysfunction created by the crack addiction that you were acting out. I just want you to have an understanding of it because a lot of folks don't understand what they went through and why it occurred.
It seems like since Bianca was 10 years old, Bianca has been giving me a lot of problems.
Like what?
I've been called miserable, lonely, obese, crack whores, jealous OB, nothing, I'm nothing, I'll never be nothing.
Plaintiff Stephanie North is suing her daughter because she claims her daughter threatens her and calls her derogatory names.
And why are you suing her today? What happened this time?
This time,
That
this
caused
last
you to
time,
sue her for $2,500.
I mean, this goes back for years. I'm going back.
Go ahead.
We can start with the 11 days that Bianca skipped school, and I didn't know anything about it. My job had
How
changed.
long ago was that?
This was when she was in the 7th grade, 8th grade. I didn't know about it until the police,
Did the teachers call you? Mm-hmm. What day did they call you? On the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th? Or
after the
10th?
11th.
Okay, so after your child missed 11 days of school, that's when they called?
Yes.
All right. And then you found out what?
That she
Did you find out where she had gone?
She told me she stayed at home those 11 days.
Okay.
And just hung out at home. I don't know, I was at work.
Okay.
So I don't know what Bianca did. I can only go by what she told me.
Okay.
There's the incidences where Bianca, and I have a picture of one of the stray animals that Bianca has brought to my home.
Okay. So far, we have that she skipped school, and the teachers never told you until the 11th day that she
Right.
was missing.
Right?
Those 11 days, when it came time for homework, what did you assume then, when she had no homework for 11 straight days?
I didn't know she didn't have any homework for 11
Did
straight.
you ask?
I probably did. This was 8 years
Probably.
ago. I probably did.
Well, you're the one mentioning it. It's 8
Because
years.
that's-
You remembered everything else except for helping with a homework, which is what a parent would do, and the parent then would notice that they haven't been to school for 11 days. Come on now.
Okay,
Yeah, I know you've been in the street, but the judge has too.
Right, right.
I know game when I hear it, and I've cut through that.
Okay.
I've cut right through that. Now, what is this? We're 8 years so far. What year is this?
This was last year.
All right, what did she do?
She brought that dog to my home and wanted to keep it there without any way of feeding the dog or taking care of the dog.
Did you notice that the dog was there?
Oh, yeah, I noticed that the dog was
I
there.
don't know. You noticed the dog, but you don't notice your daughter. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, sir.
All right, you noticed the dog was there. Didn't notice she was there. All right, so you asked her to remove the dog? Mm-hmm. And what
Several
did she
times. I always get arguments and cussed out, and the
Did you
dog
ever
never
threaten
went
to
away.
call the dog pound or something?
Yes, I did.
And why
And when I
didn't?
threatened
Did
to
you?
call, no, I didn't.
Why?
Because when I threatened to call the dog pound, it was all kind of threats to do physical violence to my car or to my home.
Did you call the police then?
I've not then, no.
Oh,
But I
when
have
did you
called
call the
before.
police on her?
I have called the police on Bianca.
No, when?
Yes. One time when I asked her to leave my home and she told me she wasn't
One
going
time
anywhere.
was when? What year? What month? You can't
Last
remember?
year. I can't remember
Okay.
the month, no, because I never thought I would be here doing
Season.
this. Summertime.
All right, summer of last year.
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened? Give me a little more detail.
I asked Bianca probably to wash a dish
Mm-hmm.
or to pick up behind herself because I wasn't doing it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it results in, okay, when I'm ready to do it, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 or 3 hours later, it's, Bianca, are you gonna do what I asked you to do? And it's, yeah, when I get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, I'm tired of asking her. And so I tell her, you gotta go. And then it's all this, so I'm not going anywhere. If you want me to leave, you better call the police and all this other kind of stuff. And where I come from, I don't like calling the police on my child.
Okay.
I
but-
don't like doing it.
All right.
When I
Now
did
let me
call-
hear, ma'am, from you about all this your mother is suing you for.
First of all, Your Honor, with the whole threatening her situation, I have never threatened to put my hands on my mother.
Yes, you have. Go ahead. What else?
I have never threatened to put my hands on
You
my
skipping
mother.
school, doing everything, fighting everything else. Yes, you have.
That doesn't
now,
mean
what
I
else?
threaten my mother, but
That does.
she threatens me, and I do not threaten her. She put her hands on me, and I do not put my hands on her. So that's why our relationship is
Why
not
are
as
we
close.
here? Why do you think your mother brought you here today? Do you live with her still?
No, I do not. I do
Why
not
do you
stay
think
with her.
how long have you been on your own?
Like a year.
Okay, so you've been gone for 1 year. Has anything happened within that year?
We've had incidents within that year. Like if I go over to her house to visit her or something and we get into an argument or a disagreement, it always ends with her telling me that I don't have anything and I won't be anything. I'm raggedy, I'm a bum, and I leech off of people and I use people. And I'm often told that if I'm not beneficial to her, it's no point of me even being around.
So you ask her to remove the dog? And what
Several
did she say?
times. I always get arguments and cussed out. When I threatened to call the dog pound, it was all kind of threats to do physical violence to my car or to my home.
Plaintiff Stephanie North is suing her daughter because she claims her daughter threatens her and calls her derogatory names.
So she's called you names and she's degraded you. That's your point?
Yes, about
right.
that. And with the whole dog incident, I left home with the dog, and I was homeless with that dog and my boyfriend. So the dog was not at her house that long. My brother actually had the dog before we did, and we ended up taking the dog from my brother because he didn't want it because she was deaf. So when we did have the dog at her house, and it was all those problems, and my mom put us out, we stayed on the street with our dog for the time until my dog was stolen.
All right. Do you know of that to be true, ma'am?
No.
Okay. Secondly, have you ever degraded her or talked down to her?
Yes, I have.
Or initiated an argument?
Not
Okay,
initiated, no, sir.
Okay, you've never initiated
No,
an
sir.
argument
I've
with
never
her?
initiated, no, sir.
All right.
Anything I've
When you
done
would
with-
tell her to move the dog and she wouldn't, or when she threatened you, you never...
initiated?
yeah,
No, sir.
the dog in particular.
I've come
The
back
dog
on
in
Bianca.
particular, the dog. You kept telling
Initiated?
her to leave. Yeah, did you ever do it in a hostile way? Tell her to take the dog away.
After being called out of my name, yeah, it
No,
escalated
that's not
to
initiating. I'm
hostile.
saying you
Initiated?
became
No, sir.
hostile.
It's been Bianca.
Okay.
When is the dog
All
gonna
right.
leave?
It's
And
all
then it's
her
always
problem. Everything that she's done
No,
in
sir.
life, it's what she's done.
That's not what I'm saying,
All right.
Judge.
Okay. Well, I do think it's mutual argument between the parent and the daughter, and you don't get money for that.
But
you don't
I-
get money for
okay,
that,
I
arguing with
understand.
your child.
I
You put
understand.
them out like you did.
Right.
Or, and if they threaten you, you call the police. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
What goes on with me and Bianca's relationship is on whether Bianca's gonna start respecting me and talking to me and treat me like I'm her mother.
I can honestly say the same thing. I don't know. I would hope for a better relationship with my mother, but if not, then I mean, we're just gonna have to love each other from a distance.